right. I'm going to try and see if anybody might be up early on the 4th of July. It is 8 in the morning. I've been up for a while, as per usual, but I thought I would try and fit some crafting in today. So I'm going to try and arrange my camera here. I haven't done this for a while. I really didn't think this out a whole lot, except for how I know that I haven't been crafting lately. I've been taking the summer off for the most part for holding events and focusing on some other things, and I just missed crafting. So happy holiday, and if you're still in bed, I get it, but I'll be posting this on YouTube and you can check it out later. Today I wanted to use the Party Piggy bundle. As you can see here, comes with dies. This is an online exclusive that came out 2 months ago, and you know that we have new online exclusives that come out every 2 months, so more new things just came out in July. But I have seen 2 really cute cards made with this set, and so I wanted to case them, which stands for copy and share everything. And I'm getting to the point lately where I have so many cards that I want to make that I'm getting ready to host a case challenge with my team, and we'll see how that goes. If that goes well, I might do one with everyone. So if you have a lot of cards you want to case, this is a challenge for you to try and knock some of this out. So anyhow, we're going to be using Party Piggy, and this, like I mentioned, is not very planned out, so everything's a mess, and I'm just going for it, okay? So my first question was, what color am I going to make my piggies? And I actually have already used this set in a class, and I don't know if I have the card around anywhere, and I can't remember what color we used, but I know that I did do a white one at some point, and then I could color it, obviously, but that would take a while to color, so I'm going to skip that. However, graduation time just passed, and I kept thinking to myself, this would make a really cute graduation card. So I dug through my retired stamps, and I did find a hat that would have been really cute on that. So maybe I'll make this card later to be ready for next year when graduation rolls around. So these are 2 different colors of like pinkish. This one is called Petal Pink, and this one's called Bubble Bath. So you tell me, which do you think is the best color to use if you are making a pig? For the sake of today, I'm actually going to do one of each, so then you can see what they look like. So anytime you are using something like this, I guess you could use like saddle brown. We have a saddle brown color. But I always like to use Memento. So I'm gonna grab the stamp here. It's not in there. Oh yes, it's right here. So the head and the body are 2 separate stamps. And I'm gonna throw that on. I don't know, I guess I'll just do this. Blocks, they both fit on a D block, and for the Memento pad, because it's a felt pad, I like to twist to get the best ink coverage. And we're going to do 1 head here. I also don't have a foam mat underneath me, which I should, because that is what is suggested when you're using photopolymer stamps. It's also probably suggested when you have a crease down the middle of your table. Oh, goodness. All right, let's try that again. And this is where I need to take my own advice and go get that rubber mat or foam mat. All right, that's better. Okay, and then the body. So if anybody does jump on live today, you'll have to let us know what you're doing for the holiday. I am doing nothing. Hi, Cindy. She says, definitely bubble bath. Yeah, I think so too, but I'm going to just do one of each. And since these are also two separate dies, you sort of have to cut apart the head and the body. And I'll just throw that out of the way. Cindy just got home from Tennessee. What'd you do there? Tennessee is a nice state. I used to live in Memphis for a time. Such a big, long state, though. It's like two sides are completely different from each other. So let us know what you did there. Okay, so I'm going to grab the dies. You know, before I start cutting too, I'm going to do some more of the stamping since we're still using the memento. I'm going to do a hat and the flags. And I could probably use a smaller block, but I don't feel like getting up. So I'm going to do a hat. And a flag. Anybody watching any fireworks tonight? I don't know why, but we have never really done fireworks. I like them. I think it sounds fun, but I also just don't know where to go, and I don't want to deal with like the crowds and parking and whatnot. Okay, so I also want to do the sentiments, and the sentiments I'm going to use from my scrap bin. So I have a scrap bin over there that is labeled banners. And these are basically like leftovers from like kits that I just throw into that bin. And then before I cut something new, I just go see if I have something out there. So I'm going to do a Let's Party and a What's Shakin' Bacon. How cute is that? Actually have some bacon upstairs. That actually sounds good for breakfast. Okay, so Let's Party, and I'm gonna do that going, the flag going this way, and Let's Party just seems like it should be crooked because we're partying. Okay, so there's that, and I'm gonna trim it down over there. And then I'm gonna do a What's Shakin' Bacon on this. And it'll be just fine. It's a little long, but it's okay. So I'm making 2 cards today because I've seen 2 samples on Facebook that I just wanted to case. So at some point here, I'll tell you who actually designed these cards. But it's not me. But there are lots of fun, different ways you could make your little piggies. Okay, so the only others, I've used almost all the stamps. I am going to use the confetti. So I'm just going to put the confetti on my block and be ready for that here in a minute. But I think that's the majority of the stamping. Now, if I was organized for most of my videos, I cut these things out ahead of time, but not today. And because this is right behind me, I'm just grabbing my mini machine. It's easier for videos too. So I think I'm doing this. I don't really use this anymore. Sometimes I travel with it, but sometimes I just put it on my shelf because it looks cute, because it's mini. All right, so I'm also gonna cut these up. And I don't have any washi. Well, I do have washi over here. So I'm going to try and do maybe both of these at the same time. I do have washi over here. What am I talking about? So I'm going to just tape that guy down. I did not tell anybody in my house that I'm doing this video right now, so they could come barreling down any minute. My boys like to be alone in the basement. They don't necessarily like to be here with their mom while she's crafting. Okay, so let's see if I can get this to roll through correctly. Looks like I was... Okay, so there's the hat. You need a hat when you're partying. And then some flags. Okay, got that. Now, my husband's home from work too for the holiday, so we are actually gonna try and make it to the mall today, which I think is open. Anybody know for sure? I'm pretty sure it's open. Now you would think I'd be going to the Castleton Mall because the Hobby Lobby just opened and I have not been yet. Has anybody been to the new Hobby Lobby that opened up on 82nd Street at the Castleton Mall? You'll have to let me know how it is. But no, I'm going to the Fashion Mall because we need to go to the Apple Store. Okay, so there's one head. Let's do the other head. And you know, if you are at home and you have this die, you'll have to comment if you guys already have this bundle or not. I am not a huge animal person, but this guy is pretty cute. I actually just saw a video yesterday on Facebook too of some police officers that got out on the highway to rescue a pig that was like crossing the highway or something. And it was pretty funny watching two like grown men try and chase a pig on the highway. It'd be pretty scary too. Okay, and then moving to the bottom. But anyhow, if you by chance have this die, you'll have to, you could definitely, here, sun's coming down to see what's going on. I think he realized I was talking and he's like, she's probably not talking to herself. So he closed the door. We'll see. But you, because I'm making this all in real time, you could probably make it along with me if you have it. So let us know if you have this bundle or not. And I probably could have used washi tape on that because it moved a smidge. Oh well. Okay, last thing to cut. And then we'll start putting these into 2 different cards with 2 different color piggies. Okay. Finished with those. Get this thing out of here. Don't need washi anymore. So my computer froze over here, so we'll see. Hopefully I'm still alive. Okay, so done with that stamping. And now we are going to start with the base of the card, okay? So for this one, I'm using Pool Party. And this is a card that was created by Cindy Santiago Bauman. And then one of my friends, Janice Waitman, received it, I think, as a swap. And so she also redid it and encased it. And so when I was watching her video, I'm like, I need to make that cute card. Now she was using the arches right here, and I don't have the arches. So I am using the textured note dies, which I believe are still available. These are an online exclusive. And when you cut them out, they have a different border around there. So I am going to put this down. It's probably just like that in the center. And then we need the pig standing on some kind of ground. So this is Early Espresso cardstock. I just eyeballed it. I might need to trim it down, but I have it going all the way across, so 4 1/4. And then I did emboss it, and she used the hibiscus folder because that seems a little like tropical and whatnot. I don't have the hibiscus set, so I just pulled up the new sunflower embossing folder, which just came out a couple days ago as an online exclusive. This is one of those big folders, and we're going to be definitely using that in a class coming up. But I just embossed sort of like the leaf part over here. I didn't really get the like sunflower or anything. So I think I'm going to just put that there, but I do want to, we're going to use this big here. I do want to just make sure that that looks right. Yeah, and I think it does. So put this down here as the ground. Okay, and then we're going to put the sentiment here, what's shaken bacon. And I am going to pop this up with some dimensionals. There we go. And so this was, I can't remember if this was like an incentive trip that they earned in, like went to Hawaii or something like that, but it was, or maybe it was just from someone in Hawaii, but she turned it into like a luau card. So using the 2 3/8 circle punch and some garden green cardstock, just gonna make a circle here. And we're gonna make a skirt for the pig. And I should probably not be doing this freehand, but my trimmer is over there. So I'm gonna go freehand, and I think that is going to be about the right size, okay? And then from there, she recommended using a pen or a pencil, and I don't have one of those over here, so I'm just gonna use a blend. We'll see how that goes. And then just using like a piece of paper. Oh, you can see my line is, my cut was not good. We'll just do that. Make a line so that you know where to cut it. Now, if you just make slits up to that line, you're creating a little grass skirt. And Stampin' Up! Used to sell fringe scissors. Anybody remember those? I still have mine. I could have used those because those are within reach, but I'm just going with the snips. So once you have all your little slits in there, then you'll want to, sort of ruffle up the grass. And then we're gonna glue it there up at the top. And this circle is a little bit too big, so we're gonna have to then trim it a little bit, flip it over. You can just come around and trim. I'm not gonna trim the bottom, but trim like this part. Don't wanna hide his cute little tail. I wonder if Facebook showed me that police pig video because they knew I was looking at a pig card. I swear, it's so freaky sometimes. Okay, so now we got a cute little grass skirt, and then we've got this guy. So anytime you cut the pig, and you can see there are spots just begging to be colored, right? I'm using the Bubble Bath, which is the same color as the cardstock. But when you color it, it looks a little bit darker. So do like the inside of the ears. You could do these little spots, which could be spots to color, or it could just be like dirt, so you can decide if you want to color it pink or some brown. Pecan pie would be a good color for that as well. I'll just do that. Okay. And then looking at the sample too, looks like they did some little circles for the cheeks. How cute is that? We'll do some shading. Okay, but you get the idea there. Now, the card that I saw made would glue the head on top of the body, and then actually, once it's attached, flipping it over and using what's called action wobbles. So these are things that are available on Amazon, made by Hampton Art. This one comes in a package of 48. And then when I did a class with these a long time ago, and then it could actually wobble. So it's like a pig that's actually doing their dance, and what Shake and Bacon makes great sense, right? However, the ones that I have are way smaller than the ones that were actually used on the card. So they obviously come in different sizes. So if I tried to do this like this, I'm not sure if such a big image is gonna wobble. So I wasn't sure if I should try and do 2 separate wobbles, and that's what I'm gonna try. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure if there's a right or a wrong way to apply these. So I'm gonna try this way. Okay, and I'm gonna put one on the head, because again, these are smaller. And I'm gonna try putting one on the body. And it could make for a really wonky pig, but I don't know. We'll try. Okay, and then once you have that, then you take off the other sticker here. I'm gonna put one on the bottom like that. So when you flick it, it wobbles. And then we're gonna do one on the head, and hopefully they don't oops, forgot to take the sticker off. Hopefully they don't interfere with each other. We'll see. If not, I'll have to, get on Amazon maybe and buy the bigger size. So, because I got some more cards in mind that I wanted to make into wobble cards too. So yeah, I think that works just fine. You can definitely tell the pig is dancing. Okay, so the final touches on this card would be just to give it some flowers so that it looks like it's a female pig doing her dance with her skirt on. So I found some flowers, which I already punched out, and I can't remember if she also used the hibiscus for that, but I don't have it. So I just dug through my stash and I found I'm using the Delightful Wishes. There is a little flower right here. And so I cut out 4 of them, and then I'm going to put a center in the flower with an embellishment. So in case you didn't participate in my 30-day craft room organization challenge that I had recently, these are all my embellishments, and I keep all the current ones in these containers, and they are labeled. So I do try and use current ones when I can, but when they are last chance, which is the new clearance rack category, basically. When they're last chance, I move them into these bags, and then I try and keep them here until they actually retire. Then when they retire, I put them over there on my spinning rack. So these are called Adhesive Back Dots for Days, and last I checked, they were on the last chance list, and so I am going to use these. A pick tool is great, but you can also use your scissors to get these off. So I'm going to use that biggest yellow to put as the center of my flowers. Okay. And then get those out of the way. And then we're going to put, probably should put adhesive on that first before I put that big old dot down, but oh well, I think I can make it happen. And we're going to put these to sort of form like a necklace. What are they called? Lays, right? I don't know if I love the center of this though. I might have, if I weren't doing a live video, I might have picked something different because they sort of look like eggs. Like the white with the yellow yolk in there. So I don't know, but I wanted that to look like a necklace, and then we're gonna put one up here in her hair. Okay, how cute is this? Yeah, I might get a little stuck, but that's okay. You get the idea how cute that is. Okay, so that's the first pig card. And then now we're gonna move to the second pig card. Now this one is gonna be the 4th of July edition. And I am using real red cardstock that I cut this direction so that it's gonna be a card that's gonna stand up. And we are going to be casing a card that I saw made by Kathy Morgan. And she was using the new party banners, which I am having a class coming up where you can make whatever kind of banner you want. But I haven't really used these yet. So anyhow, we're gonna use those. And what I did was I basically just took my card base and came over here to figure out which one was the little bit bigger. Okay, and I came up with this one. So this is the 4th biggest one, okay? And then from here, you can see how it's a little bit bigger than the card base because I don't want to cut the top of the card base. I just want to cut the bottom of the card base. And so I'm gonna move it up just to that point right there, and I'm gonna go run it through my die cut machine. So give me 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Hopefully if you just popped on right now and you're like, wait, what, is there a video going on? But I am back. Okay, so you can see there now the card base opens like that, but it can potentially still stand up, okay? And then from there, we're gonna make the next layer. And I think I'm gonna move down 2 sizes. So 1, 2 sizes, okay? And that is going to be the next layer. So if this is a 4th of July card, we're making the next layer in Blueberry Bushel. So you see how it will line up there. And then we're going down 1 level for a white layer, okay? So it can layer on just like that. So I'm using 3 of the different banners. And then from there, we can go ahead and glue those on. I do want to do some stamping though with some real red ink. And I've got that confetti. So we're going to just come in a little bit on the top and then more so a lot on the side. And I'm gonna get a good amount over there. Come up with some more down here. And I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, and now for this pig, we're gonna also give it some shading. So again, the same color on top of that color. So this is the petal pink. I'm just gonna color in its nose. Part of the ear, we'll do that over there. I might do some more, looks like she did primarily probably the pecan pie again. So we'll do some pecan pie on the spots for it looking dirty. And then are these called hooves? I know you got horse hooves. Are these, I don't know, what do you call the hands and the feet? You're asking the wrong person. Okay. Okay, and then for these, we're gonna go ahead and color these. And I'm using, again, the same colors that I used for the card bases or the flags, the banners. So just red. So we're going to do one flag in red. This one seems to be running out, so I'll have to check my back stock to see if I have, goodness, dark real red. I'll have to see if I have another. Ooh, this one seems brand new, so. Okay, so we're doing one flag red, and we're also going to do the hat, rotating every other stripe. And then we'll come over to the light blueberry bushel for this flag. And for the hat. Well, at least I think we are having good weather. I haven't really looked, but I think it's not going to rain, so that's always good. This probably needs to be popped up with some dimensionals. So now I think we can go ahead and glue this down. So I'm going to put this banner here, this banner here. Okay, this guy needs to be popped up. I need one more in the center. Yes, just one more in the center. Okay, and then sort of like that. And then this guy. Going like that. Okay, then the banner. Probably could use a mini dimensional instead. Do I have some of those? Yes, I do. I might try to get one down here too. It's a little bit too big, and I probably should have cut it, but not right now. So we've got that. Yep, shouldn't use that if it's going in its hand, so I'll just rip that off. Okay, cute. And then the hat needs maybe 2 minis. I hope I left enough space up there for its hat. Might have to, same thing, I'm just wasting my dimensionals. So I'm gonna go a little bit lower so that it can make sure it fits. And then, since that's popped up there, I didn't need a dimensional there. So I'm gonna do that, okay? And then lastly, the sentiment. So, well, not lastly, but almost lastly. We're gonna do, you know what? I'm just gonna put that dimensional there. I'm gonna come down and do that so that the Let's Party comes a little bit on its belly. And then I'm gonna try this, see what it looks like, just coming behind and trimming it. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and then the last step is dimensionals. So, or not dimensionals, embellishments. The tip that she used was, she said she used, I think it's these. Yeah, these are maybe also are almost on their way out because they're in my plastic bag. The Earth Tone Gems, and it looks like there's like 4 different colors, and there's like a white one. It's more like a cream. So you know that you can color embellishments to make them whatever color you want. Which color did I say? It was this one that's about running out. So because it's about running out, I'm gonna try using it. Because I don't normally like to do this, especially in a class, because you worry about the tips getting damaged if someone's not doing it gently, right? But because this is something I'm getting ready to replace anyhow, I'm gonna try and color these so that they're gonna be red instead. And you know what? Why not just also make some blue? Just be careful when you do this technique. You know, that tip, the brush tip, can definitely get damaged. So I do think this one is way more sturdy, and I would probably color it with this more fine tip one. I'll do some smaller ones. Okay, I'm gonna do one more red one and a smaller one. Which one did I say? Whew. Yeah, that one's about to die. Yeah, apparently so. Okay, that one's dead. Let's come to, see, this one's the light red and it looks a little too pinky for me. So let's go back to this one. Yeah, that one's not getting it as well as I'd like. Okay, so now we're gonna put these on. I'm gonna put one up here. Oops, someone coming down to say hi. Hello? Are you coming down to participate in my Facebook Live video? And then we'll do one maybe down here and one over here. Okay, so here's my party piggy. I got a little spot right there. Oh, there we go. So anyhow, let me know what you think of the 2 cards that we made using the party piggy. And if you've made any, made any cards using Party Piggy, you can post yours below so others can have some inspiration too. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday, and we'll craft again with you soon. Bye.